And we're back. We are going to now go through the original Star Wars. Go through 1 through 3 and see where we're at on those, right?
Yeah.
Episode 4, New Hope, Brian's personal favorite. You can tee it off there. Go ahead and
I think it's only right.
tell us
That's right.
why.
So in our last segment, we talked about the prequels,
Right?
Right. So for me, yeah. So this is my. And by the way, off camera, Dean was telling us a story about how the trash monster actually came into the pit.
Yes.
Yeah, that there is canon out there. So
And the book called From a Certain Point of View. It is canon, and it writes about all of the different background characters from A New Hope. And, and there's probably 20 of them, written by famous writers and whatnot. And one of the stories was the trash monster. And she was captured from her planet, and she was force sensitive, and her job, she got through the force, was to take Luke down into the water to the brink of death, and then that awaken the force in him. So
I'm glad they didn't spotlight that in the movies. It's a bit much.
I'm telling you,
yeah.
no, I'm telling you. In the book, I'm doing a shit poor job of
I'm not
explaining it. If you read it or listened to the audiobook, it explains it a lot better and makes it
So I'm going to want a spin-off
sense.
movie of this character if I listen to that.
I wouldn't say that, but
Well, you would
does make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
If you read it.
Okay.
You would read a spin-off of that. What's the guy's name?
Salacious Crumb.
Salacious B.
Right.
Crumb. And B starts for Bartholomew.
Yeah,
Bartholomew.
Balthazar.
Balthazar.
Ah,
Wise
that's
man,
right.
yes.
Dualism. Remember that. And I want to remind our fans, by the way, too, that Dean does have a girlfriend.
I do.
That's
Noted girlfriend, have her.
Noted girlfriend.
She's over there, quiet.
Yeah.
Not raising her voice.
She's the floor director.
All right. So the trash monster was indeed part of the original Star Wars. So
What
yes.
was its name?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
They did give her a name, but I don't remember. I
gonna
remember
need
it
to
was a
find that
girl.
out.
I think it was Balthazar.
Balthazar.
I wonder if its email address has been taken. If it has an email address.
Maybe, yeah. That we should have looked at that. I do remember, actually, as a child. By the way, I did get the Death Star toy as a child, which was a huge gift. And one of the coolest things about that entire toy is they had a little mini trash compactor filled with sponges, right? And you would turn this crank and the wall would shut. But inside the trash compactor, which I have upstairs at this moment, I'll have to show you, was a toy trash monster. And you got to see the entire body of the trash monster.
Force-sensitive trash monster.
The force-sensitive trash monster, yes. So that was pretty
See,
neat. And again, remember, I also have a girlfriend who's very lovely and beautiful, and a beautiful
Absolutely.
daughter. How? I don't know. We have very tolerant ladies in our lives.
Here's to women who have bad taste.
Yes, yeah, I will. Yes, cheers. Yes, cheers.
Cheers to that.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
I don't have a trash
Very
monster
good.
figure, but
Yeah.
we've all got our things.
You are the trash
I am the
monster
trash
figure.
monster.
So yes, Star Wars: New Hope was my personal favorite. So that of all of the Star Wars movies, and again, a lot of it we talked off camera a little bit too. I mean, for me, that when that movie came out, that was an entirely whole new thing. That was 1977. The two top movies that year were Star Wars and Smokey and the Bandit. So there you have it. So why do I remember that? I'm not sure, but I love Smokey and the Bandit. But
Smokey and the Bandit was good.
But you just kind of see what was out there at the time. That was a whole new thing. The effects, all that stuff. And as a child, it was just a whole. It was amazing. And all the franchising. Every fast food place had posters and glasses, and then the action figures and all the hype around that. And some of those early Christmases I had as a child, getting your Star Wars toys and figures, it was really pretty something. So all that definitely contributed to it.
Look at it this way. His parents loved him so much that they got him these amazing toys that cranked open in the trash monster.
It's very true.
Your parents let you play in trash, and that was.
Well, they threw rocks at me and said Merry Christmas.
Well, keep trying.
Be happy they thought of you.
Yeah.
At least they said Merry Christmas.
But that movie was and at the time, it was the first movie. He wanted to make other movies. We talked about this too off camera. He wasn't sure if he was going to be able to or not. But It's a complete movie.
Yeah.
That movie, start to finish, it's got the whole crescendo. Mm-hmm. It's got a great storyline of a kid rising up.
Chewie didn't get a medal, but
that was kind of weird. Even as a kid, that was weird. But
was.
The whole thing is it's a final story. If that's all they ever made, it would be fine. It was a great standalone movie. But the effects, everything was wonderful. The whole
is there?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but is there a movie in any of our lives that did that? What A New Hope did to you? You know what I mean? It really changed your life. It put you on a...
Dude, Space Jam was pretty good.
Space Jam. Oh my God.
Space Jam meant a lot to me as a kid, man. It really did.
Actually, I saw they had when they re-released, they had the special edition Star Wars movies, right, which was infuriating. We should talk about those a little bit too. But anyway, so
that might be a different episode.
That's fine. So it was a double feature of the remastered Star Wars and Space Jam, double feature.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyhow, nice. I digress. So again, whole movie start to finish was great experience.
Yeah.
That's why I love it. Vader, watching him come out on the screen for the first time.
Yeah,
the whole he's probably one of the greatest villains of all time. That was pretty cool. C-3PO. I mean, everything's great. Yeah. Everything's wonderful. Carrie Fisher in her prime.
Yep.
Strong, tough woman. All that was pretty cool as well. And then Luke being a goofball and rising up and actually, learning to use the Force. Everything's great. I mean, everything started. There's
brother and sister good luck kisses on the cheek.
That was weird how they did that. But start to finish, still to this day, movie holds up.
Yeah,
I agree.
Pretty rock solid. Of all the Star Wars movies, start to finish, that to me is still probably the most solid of any single one of them.
Yeah, you can't argue
go off the rails. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's
there
just
you go.
A solid movie. Yeah.
Yep.
Very good. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned C-3PO and R2-D2, like comic relief, the banter between, even though R2-D2 doesn't speak, but in beeps, but the banter that they provide, they were comic relief without being hokey or cheesy or this is for the kids, and it's, you know what I mean? Like, it was
let me interject real quick. How amazing, I mean, it being like just a supposed to be at the moment a cheesy sci-fi movie, but the idea that that he wrote a character with just beeps and boops, and you got it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You didn't. There was no subtitles. There was no. You understand. You're like beep boop boop, and you're like, oh no, I totally. I don't need anything. I got what he said.
That was also Kenny Baker, the actor, did that as well. So he was, that was pretty good. But you're right. You knew he was happy. You knew he was sad. You knew he was
absolutely
angry. The whole thing. You definitely got his emotions through the. Yeah. It was very, very ingenious. The whole thing again. Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, Chewbacca's similar in that too.
Yeah.
Again, doesn't speak, but you understand everything. I mean, obviously, it's a little easier with him because
in the next movie. There's a lot more to say in the next one.
He's, obviously he's more animated with his arms and legs and things like that, but R2-D2, it's a little more minimal, I mean, as far as the head turns and things like that. But
absolutely.
Same thing with Chewbacca, it could be said.
And then the whole thing, if I was ever going to maybe have a crush on a man back then, Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
As a young child, and it's like, when they show him in the scene with a bar, sorry, my dog's tripping on the cord here. When he was in the scene with a bar,
and just fighting a dog through cords.
A blind dog, and he was beating you.
But the whole scene when they pan over and Harrison Ford is sitting there, I'm like, that is what I feel I need to look like as a grown man. That was like a grown man back then. See, hi, buddy.
Yeah,
there you go.
There he is.
So, okay, so anything else on A New Hope?
You guys said it all. I mean, New Hope is the original.
But not your favorite.
It was number 3.
But you hate it. Why?
I mean, there was a lot of... I mean, the reason it was number 3, not number 1, was you have a lot of there was a lot of like 70s feel to it. You know what I mean? Like comparative to the rest.
When was this movie made? Let me think here.
No, I
Okay.
understand. It was in
Yeah.
the 70s, but we were tasked to compare them all to each other.
Fair enough.
So to me, there was a lot of cheese of the 70s that didn't have to be there, but it was there because it was the 70s, right?
Okay.
Like what?
Some of the dialogue.
Okay.
Some of the dialogue wasn't thought out, and this dog's going to kill me.
Like when Luke said, out of sight or something like that? You mean
Yes.
dynamite, I think is what Chewbacca said. That was Chewbacca's only word, was dynamite back then.
But yet, I mean,
Okay, so some of the dialogue. I mean, some of the dialogue was a little hokey. Right. I give you that. Yeah.
but you guys are right. I mean, it stands up. It holds up as an independent film in itself, and it obviously a classic. So yeah.
Like the whole scene with Ben being a badass in the bar, cutting that guy's limb off, the walrus guy, that was pretty slick.
Right.
But okay, solid movie, we agree. Not your favorite, but my favorite. Yeah. And then we have... Top three, okay. Yeah. So then we have a strong contender for... Now, was this anybody's top, Empire? It was yours. Mine? It's not mine. Mine was New Hope. This is number 2.
Right. Okay.
Empire
right.
was mine.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think...
This is my second.
I think we can all agree that Empire Strikes Back is like the best movie. Regardless of favorites for whatever reasons, it's the best movie. It's the best cinematically. It's the best storyline-wise. It does the best to progress the bigger story as a whole. Empire Strikes Back is the best movie. I like the things that I like about Empire Strikes Back are I like all the different levels, like all the different places you go to. There's a lot of different settings. Cloud City is very unique. That was a very cool thing. Hoth, Dagobah meeting Yoda. You know, that's kind of where everything kind of comes to light. Luke starts to learn where his place kind of is in this, what he's supposed to do.
All the characters had feelings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Obviously, the big reveal happens in that one.
Yeah.
Visually a lot of cool things. The walkers, are they AT-ATs or AT-ATs? Because I've heard AT-ATs a lot, and I think it sounds weird. I think it's AT-AT, but I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It was actually asked by, or not by, but it was answered from Lucasfilms, and the answer is both are correct.
Oh, okay.
There is not one way or the other. AT-AT and AT are correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that movie came out. I was in 6th grade. That was my last Star Wars lunchbox. Was The Empire Strikes Back. But that was, like I said, that was just different.
Yeah,
it was a whole different feel. I agree with you. They did a nice job of creating a whole separate storyline. Like you say, all the sets were terrific. The characters, you're exactly right. It was definitely more believable, more humanized the characters more.
Yeah,
we're on the
all
page
that.
On that one.
I was going to say we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Boba Fett. Obviously, is first shown in that one.
I wouldn't even go there.
I mean, he's the other Darth Maul. He's the original Darth Maul, really, as far as not speaking. Very cool, big following. People loved him.
It was a cool looking character.
Yeah,
okay, Empire Strikes Back is amazing because of 2 words: Lando Calrissian.
Yeah. What are you doing here?
What are you doing here? Lando Calrissian. That's all I gotta say. No, I mean,
it's fantastic.
You have obviously Lando. You have one of the best emotional scenes when they close the door on Hoth and Chewbacca, like we were talking about before, without having actual dialogue. When Chewbacca just growls in pain because his friends just, essentially were out left to die. Mm-hmm. It is mirrored in the last movie. Mm-hmm. When Leia dies. Spoiler alert. That scene when that door closes and Chewbacca screams in pain, you feel that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that answers to the rest of the movie of the emotion that all of the rest had. Mm-hmm. From, Luke finding out that Vader was his father, and, yes, the no was a little probably overacted, but still you got the emotion.
The no.
Yes.
Which no? I want you to do it.
You want me to do it?
Yeah.
No, that's not possible. He's got a weird thing with his mouth, and no, that's not possible. No,
It's not true.
not true.
So, Nick, why does this rank high for you?
Yeah. Hoth, cool snowy place. It was fun. It was, no, it was a lot of good scenes. That was a great scene. That's just a great action scene. That battle on Hoth is a great action scene.
Yes.
Just every step of the way when you walk through. Yeah, big reveal. The Yoda part is cool. Yoda seems to be another silly Jar Jar Binks-esque character. Just kind of the silly side character. And then you have that reveal that like, oh, that's Yoda and stuff like that. I mean...
And even thematically, what they did in the beginning. Like the first droid you see is, in A New Hope, you see R2 and C-3PO. This one that starts with the probe droid, you know what I mean? Like, it shows you like, oh shit, this is going to be different. Yeah. You know what I mean? This is going to be a little darker than the rest,
A lot of iconic things happen too. The putting the Luke in the Tauntaun and rescuing him, going out and keeping him warm inside the Tauntaun. There's the... What's it called? What's the snow monster? What's the
Wampa?
The Wampa, yes. The Wampa's in that. There's Empire Strikes Back covers a lot of ground.
And you see Han for the only time wielding a lightsaber. I mean,
yes, that's right.
Yeah, that's
but still,
true.
I mean, Han Solo wielding a lightsaber.
They could open the Tauntaun. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Yeah, the whole thing was great. So yeah, them being overmatched on the planet, that was pretty neat. It was like clearly they were overmatched. They're having trouble just adapting the weapons to the cold. They mentioned that, so it just you get the sense of like, oh my gosh, how are they going to overpower this empire? And obviously they eventually did. But the emotions, the sets, the crescendo of the Han and Leia. The only romance they probably got right in the entire series was in that movie, and because George Lucas didn't have to touch it and be a part of it.
Right.
People knew that they were doing. Was that whole? that was pretty cool.
Kaz,
the whole the Falcon in the sandworm
the
thing.
romance between Han and Leia was Kasdan's doing.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't in the original idea.
All well done. That was great. And then the Falcon being in the alien. The asteroid flight was one of the best scenes of any Star Wars movie, still to this day, in my opinion, when Han's flying through the asteroid field. All that stuff. Start to finish, the Yoda transformation, Frank Oz, fantastic.
Right.
Yeah.
To think back that all that was a puppet back then is tremendous. That's his, cinematic stamp in history, that whole thing,
exactly.
beyond the Muppets, of
like
course.
Nick said earlier.
Yeah.
Just some cinematically, like the look of it, which it just felt like it's just a great film.
Yeah, I went back and watched it.
Very
Go ahead.
capturing,
Yes.
the scenery of that.
There's
It was such a
so
cool
much
thing
stuff.
coming up to it, and all the city in the clouds and all that stuff, and how regal everything looked when they got there.
Right.
And
I mean,
for Lando, what kind of
you
setting?
gotta have
Lando,
something to be
for
regal.
Lando.
I mean, come on, goddamn Lando.
Yeah.
Yoda's
Carbonite.
teachings, some of the stuff back then, even even to this day, is still. I watched it was like the 40th anniversary of that movie recently this year, which was like wow. But so I went back and watched it. It's like man, some of the, what Yoda was teaching Luke is very, very powerful.
We don't use
Use
Yoda in our lives.
That is right. To this, we all could use a little Yoda, literally.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Surely
Okay.
there's one floating around back here somewhere.
Somewhere.
It's probably upstairs. All right. So strong, and then Nick, your favorite.
Turn of the Jedi.
All right. So
Original
please.
theatric version. Original theatrical version of Return of the Jedi. It's very key to
I
mention
hope
that.
so. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Agreed.
So I'm
There's
curious
a part
as to why.
in that, and I feel like you probably know why, but it makes me upset, very upset to my
I
core.
get a visceral reaction when I see that scene every time now.
So there was the original
ahead.
theatrical versions of all these movies,
Yeah.
and then sometime in the mid to late 90s, they started re-releasing them
And
in
he
theaters
kept-
and
he
be
kept
like, hey,
tweaking 'em.
Tinkering.
we have CGI, we have computers now.
And which
that
a lot
do
of it was
things
good. I mean,
we
he put
didn't
in
have
some
then.
background scenes that worked
Yeah.
and whatnot.
Some of the yeah.
He also threw in a lot of extra shit that was
He
unnecessary
sure
to
did.
show, hey, look, this character wasn't here before and sings a fucking song.
Oh my
sings a song that
All right.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
in the Jabba's
It's
palace.
right before
God.
like the Rancor part, and
Yeah,
it's just
very
awful.
strange.
There's no need.
The
100%
only
unnecessary. I
thing
agree.
that stupid alien singing,
Mm-hmm.
the only good thing that it did was it made me more happy when that goddamn palace blew up.
No.
Because I knew that alien died.
Well, was it
man.
on the
So this he's
sand
Dean's.
barge?
Don't ruin this for me. Don't ruin this for me.
We don't know that she's not going to
It
come back and sing a song.
died.
So in the prior episode, Dean was very almost happy of watching children get killed by Anakin, and then now he's very ecstatic watching a singing alien who's only here to
When those
entertain us.
lips come out.
Oh, the woman. Okay.
Yeah,
both of them. Both
Okay.
of them singing. It's useless.
Yeah,
it's just like,
pointless.
yeah.
Hairy,
There's-
fuzzy one.
100% pointless. I agree. That's
My
probably
children taught me with it. They call me into the room and like, hey, look at this, and like
Okay.
put it on the TV, and it's just.
Do you
'cause they
headbutt
know
them?
It pisses me off.
Do you headbutt them?
I've done a couple chest
Good.
kicks. Yeah.
Good.
Anyway,
Can't do that to Carter soon. It'll
Yeah,
kick you back.
Yeah, I'm a little weary.
But no, I love that movie. I mentioned earlier that my favorite character is Salacious Crumb. But not, aside from that, similar things to The Empire Strikes Back. I enjoy the different. I liked Endor. The speeder bike chase was good. I like that. I like Jabba's palace and the cast of characters in there. That whole kind of
Yeah.
dark, his lair kind of thing, his hangout. They free Han from carbonite. That's a plus. The escape on Jabba's sand barge. The Rancor was cool. I don't know. And as again,
Too long.
A little
maybe.
bit.
Almost a third of that movie is them rescuing Han.
Well, if they took out fucking stupid aliens singing, it would have been much.
It would
there
have
in
been a
the
little
first place.
shorter.
Right.
But even before the new stuff, very long. Was it too long to rescue
I never
him?
felt like it. Oh,
To me, it felt like the Rancor pit there was them just showing off that they could do that.
they can make that look cool.
Yeah. That whole stop animation thing, like, look what we can do.
Yeah.
It could have been cut down.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
But I enjoy in any of it, and I think that's part of the reason why I like Revenge of the Sith so much. I like the wrap up, and of course, other than Duel of the Fates, I really thoroughly enjoy that final
Yes.
Luke Darth Vader battle. And
That's the entire movie
The final
right
of
there.
that
Yes.
you can turn him, that it's still there. You can turn him good. It's still in there.
Great
and
ending.
You get to see his face. That was the biggest thing for me as a kid when that mask finally came off.
Right.
Because is it Empire where you see him from behind?
Yes.
Right.
And he's in his chamber
pit.
there?
Like,
Yeah.
what is that?
And you're like, oh my god, the back of his
That was
head.
pretty
Oh my
thrilling.
god, the back of his head.
Right.
And
Yeah.
in this one, you finally see his face.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, probably could have been a little more gnarly looking. Probably could have been a little cooler looking
That's
back.
okay,
but it
but-
doesn't matter. As a kid, when you
Well,
saw
you
it,
gotta
it was
think 30
cool.
years
It was
of,
fun.
like,
You
right.
saw
yeah,
the
yeah,
kind
Back to
eyes and
tanks
all that.
and,
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
It really humanized him again
Sure.
quickly. But yeah, I agree with you. The whole scene with Luke and the Emperor and even now you go back and watch it, you just get angry.
Yeah.
And you can just tell how hard that would be with the Emperor knows it. He's obviously
Right,
wants
that's
to
the
raise
point.
the anchor, and it all that was terrific. And then I like the little side scenes of, that my father's truly dead invader kind of pausing
also-
and then calling him my son. It's too late for me, my son, and all that he's too far along, and all that was that was
See-
good. That was moving.
See, now I put it third in my list.
Okay.
And I'm getting a little annoyed that I did, only because when talking about it, there's certain scenes, like the singing scene with
But
the
that wasn't
aliens.
originally there. You can't.
It was
base
not
the movie
original,
off that.
yeah.
That was stupid shit they added later.
There's
That
a-
was not.
Yeah.
necessary.
That's why it's still third.
Okay.
Because there was
Yeah.
all of it was good, but there were certain scenes that didn't make it to go
God,
higher.
I hear the song in my head right now.
Right. And I'm sorry. But at the very end, when this podcast wrapped, should we all just look off in the distance and pose like we're the fucking Olin Mills portrait studio?
Oh,
What was
the
that?
cast.
Right. When
Yeah.
after he looks at the ghost, they all just stand posed like dun 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 dun, and they're all just
This
stand
sure
like,
was a wacky adventure, wasn't
yeah,
it?
who's
Wow.
looking at them? Why are they? What are they looking at?
You think at the time, though, he was probably thinking, this is it. I've wrapped this up,
Yeah, but
and let's give the cast a shot.
And
there.
I get
Surely
that, but
people
like,
won't be sitting in their
take a-
basement like 40 years from now talking about this for like, what, 3
Okay,
hours? I mean,
Fine, but take a picture of the crew when you're done.
was
You don't
weird.
have to do it
Yeah.
on camera.
I agree. That was strange.
You don't need Lando's awesome perm going on.
Ewoks
sitting
playing
with
the
everybody else.
stormtrooper who were
Right.
killed in battle, playing their helmets and
And
stuff.
let's not even discuss, like, they ate those stormtroopers.
That's very possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you forget about that. They were eating humans.
They were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They ate all those guys.
They're Ewoks. It's not like cannibalism or anything. It's fine.
True, but
They're allowed.
they still ate people.
You think Chewie never ate a person? He's ripped some arms off. You think
That's
that
a good
dude?
point.
You think he never ate a dude?
That's a good
That
point.
sounds weird. You think he never
That's very.
ate a dude?
That'll be a bonus segment. Which creatures ate humans? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
So we graded the prequel a C to C minus.
Yeah.
The original trilogy. What do you give it?
Oh man, it's an A.
Yeah. Hey.
I mean, that's what made everybody fall in love with it in the first place. Why would we even talk about 1 through 3 and 7 through 9 if we didn't care about 4 through 6?
I would only go A minus because of the singing in Jabba's palace, but
But it was not in the original.
It was not there.
that's true.
I
But
hold that very close to my heart. The fact
Right.
that's the only thing
Right.
that keeps me loving that movie as much as I do.
But the posing at the end and smiling for
Annoying.
Owen
But
Mills
that's fine.
snapshot, that's in there too. But yeah, I would give it an A.
I'm with you. It's definitely an A. It's not necessarily an A plus. There are some things, but of all 3 trilogies, as much as there's problems here and there, no trilogy is going to be perfect, but it had a complete arc.
Right.
They had a plan.
Yep.
I can make another movie, and they put 2 together that actually carried on the story very nicely.
Did you hear that, Disney? They
Had
did that.
and had a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it ended very powerfully and set it up for the future and everything else. The whole scene with Luke and letting Vader off, all that was very moving. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, one of the greatest things you could do at Christmas time is watch the Yule log, the Vader
Yes.
Yule log, 5 hours on YouTube, and give you a nice warm feeling for the holidays. Go check that out.
Before we wrap this up on
ahead.
the original trilogy, that's my question.
Yeah. What's that?
Was his body burning or was the suit burning? Did he already ascend to the complete force and be a ghost?
Oh wow.
Now that is a good question because they never did show
never
him.
said
However, he did ascend because he appears as the Force
Exactly.
ghost, and
So-
the
so we-
other. Everybody
deep
else
shit
in
I
that
never
scene,
thought
so
about.
Ben Kenobi and
saw
Yoda
that.
both did disappear and ascend into the Force. So I will say it's only his armor.
Logically,
burned
that would
up.
have to be
Okay.
the situation.
He just burned up the armor
Yeah.
to symbolize
Because
the
everybody
end of Vader.
else that turned into a Force ghost, they just
Vanished.
vanished.
Just-
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Wow.
And by the way, the worst thing they added was the Greedo shooting on first.
yeah,
That was the worst thing they added in
yeah.
there. The best thing was the statues at the end. Worst thing was
Yes. When they toppled
the
him
top
over.
and showed all the worlds
I
again.
agree.
Cloud City, all that was terrific. It's the only thing they needed to
That's
do.
good.
Everything else was unnecessary or
Absolutely.
infuriating.
Yes.
So
Especially one thing.
okay, so we're going to take a break.
That
And
wraps up.
this segment of the original Star Wars trilogy.
Yep.
We're going to come back, and in another segment we're going to do the Disney trilogy,
The way
which
you said
has
that.
mixed emotions in that one here.
And when we come back, this is where the true idea of the name of this podcast or the multicast happens, because the convincing starts in the next segment.
Yes. Okay.